Hi there, this is Voluminuzos with Nutrition Design with you in mind with another episode of Let's Do Dinner. I've got a nice little recipe here on tap for you. It is from Love and Lemons, www.loveandlemons.com. Really nice website with some really solid recipes that I really love to tap into. And as you know, I try to adapt them. I don't necessarily adapt them because I have to. I do them for taste and I do them for other reasons. Maybe, try to balance out the fat, the salt. This is a ginger apple pumpkin soup. I have tried it. It is absolutely delightful. It isn't very labor intensive, okay? So the only thing you have to keep in mind here is that it'll take about an hour just to roast the pumpkin. But if you are in the house and you're doing other things, this could be roasting in the oven. You don't need to do much, okay? So the type of pumpkin that you use is really important. You don't want to use those Halloween pumpkins because they have more water content, right? So it'll become like a soupy mess. So you want to use a pumpkin like this, something that's for baking. Will be absolutely smashing for this recipe. You could also use a butternut squash if you don't want to use this type of pumpkin, but I'm sure you can experiment with different types of pumpkins, but make sure it's the ones that are for baking. This one I found at Trader Joe's. I have made a couple of recipes with it and I absolutely love it. What I did is I used 3 of these, but you can use, depending on the size, you can use 2, you can use 3. It says you wash the pumpkin. Then I put them on a cookie sheet, okay? And these are the ones that I already roasted for you, okay? Because we didn't want, I obviously don't want to sit here with you while these roast. But what you want to do is, you see that they're cut. You want to put them on the cookie sheet as is, preheat the oven to 400 and just let them soften for about 10-15 minutes. You take them out, let them cool for a minute, and then they'll be easier to handle. You can cut this because this is hard as a rock. It's really hard to handle. So you won't be able to cut these in half unless they're softened somehow. Then you can take them out, let them cool for 5, cut the ends, open them up, take out all of the, the seeds, but don't throw out the seeds. The seeds are amazing. They are packed with fiber and protein and loads of vitamin. Just wash them out. You can let them dry and you can put them on a cookie sheet and throw them in the oven and you've got a snack, okay? A really nice snack. Throw some cayenne pepper or salt, pepper, whatever you like on there. And there you go, you've got a snack. So don't throw that out. I do believe in using everything I can when I am cooking. Throw it back in the oven, okay? This side up, cut side up. And just leave it in there for about 20 minutes, okay? In a 400. Then, at the 20-25 minute mark, just put your timer, get in there and turn them around the other way, okay? And then roast them for another 20-30 minutes, okay? So, while you're doing that, what we're gonna do next is prep the apple and the onion and the garlic. Again, I took the liberty. What you're going to do is you're going to take a big Vidalia onion, one of the sweet onions. You're going to slice it like I did here. You're going to put it on a greased pan or just a little bit of Pam. You're going to cut an apple and you're going to, obviously take the pit out. And then throw that onto your cookie sheet. You can see that I've got garlic here as well, right? Now, I did not put this on my sheet right away, so hold on. So what you want to do is you want to prep your onion and your apple and leave it on the side. Once this is ready, you take it out of the oven and you throw this in. You got the garlic. I'm using about 5 cloves of garlic. I think the recipe calls for 3. I like garlic, so I'm going to add, actually, what do I have? 6, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 here, okay? So what you do is you roast the onion and the apple 20 minutes, and then you throw the garlic for the last 10, okay? Throw it back in the oven. Another 10 minutes, and there you go. This is all roasted and ready. So that's it. And then we're just putting the soup together. This is so quick and easy. And what makes it unique is the apple and the spices. So we're going to be adding ginger, which has a ton of antioxidant properties, cayenne pepper, a little bit of salt, and cardamom. So this is what makes this recipe different, okay? The spices. So it gives it a really nice earthy undertone. So let's get to this. So what I'm going to do first is, check this out. Here's the pumpkin, right? Look how easy this comes out. Do you see that? Totally easy peasy. So I'm going to put this in my blender. I want to make sure that you either have chicken broth on tap or a little bit of water. You might want to thin this out. The other ingredient we're going to use is coconut milk to give it richness. So you'll see that in just a second. We're adding the pumpkin. Okay. Here we go. But it's going to need some liquids. I want you to see what I'm going to do next. So, how easy is that? Let me put this on my cutting board so you can see it. What we want to do is we want to add the onion, and I'm going to use everything. The apple I actually roasted with the skin, and I'm okay with that. Although you might want to remove it if you feel that it's going to make it tough. I love the fiber, and I'm just going to include everything in there. So I am adding all of the veggies, the onion, that is, and the apple. Here's the garlic. I'm just going to add the garlic in there. So you see how easily it comes off? Boom. The little paper shell there, gone. And I initially want to just kind of puree it. So here's my coconut milk, all right? So it's a container, it's about 16 ounces of coconut milk. It's going to make it nice and smooth. Okay, so I think what it needs is just a little bit of help, because that's a lot. I probably should have put it just a touch less. Needs a little bit of help here, and we will give it that help. I'm just going to add all my spices. So here's a little bit of salt and cayenne pepper. It says a teaspoon of salt. I did half, and a quarter teaspoon of cayenne, and about a teaspoon of fresh ginger, okay? Fresh is best if you can get it. If not, you can use a little bit of dry. And the cardamom, kind of a South Asian feel to it. And I think because this is so thick, and I don't want it that thick, I'm gonna use my chicken broth, and I'm gonna thin this out a little bit, okay? So you wanna shake that. I'm adding a little bit of chicken. And this is up to you, right? You add as much broth or water as you want. Thicker, thinner, it all depends on what you like. All right, and what I will do now is I will plate this. I will take my ladle. This is a little on the thicker side, but again, I could take a little bit more broth, low sodium broth or water, and thin it out. So here you go. You might want to put a little bit of cream on there, okay? And you might want to put a couple of cloves just to make it look fancy if you want. Although we didn't add cloves to this recipe, you can. It's completely up to you. Here is your ginger apple pumpkin soup. And honestly, if you've got everything roasted, this took me 10 minutes to put together, okay? All you need to do is mix it up, you know, pulse it, liquefy it, puree it, get it to the consistency that you want to, and you've got a lovely fall recipe for Thanksgiving. You can make it for Christmas, for Hanukkah. It is absolutely delicious. It'll wow your guests, so absolutely consider it. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I hope it inspires you. And if you want to learn more about how I can help you on your path to wellness, please visit me on my website, www.mynutritiondesign.com. You can drop me a line at vula@mynutritiondesign.com if you have any comments or questions. I'd be more than happy to answer them. I bid you adieu. I hope you and your family and friends have a wonderful, peaceful, and joyful Thanksgiving. So enjoy the food, enjoy the company, and have lots of fun.